even get started, but not too big of a deal. He is constantly producing probes and also getting a Twilight Council here.
Yeah, so it looks like Galzi might end up going for that Blink Stalker timing with a lot of gateways, and that was a pretty standard thing. But oh, look at this! Galzi's got a Warp Prism queued up, and that's actually really cool because, you know, again, the recent patch changes did allow Warp Prism to get more utility out of them, and so I'm interested to see how Galzi utilizes this there, Bonk.
Right, he is getting this Warp Prism, and it is really cool, but...
Yeah.
Okay, and he is going for, yep, I kind of thought that might come out, the Dark Shrine. The only problem is here, he really is only working off 3 gateways, and it's going to be a while before this Dark Shrine comes out, so he can't produce much of anything right now. And oh no, if this Overlord comes in and actually sees this Warp Prism leave, that is so heartbreaking for a player.
It looks like it actually will. The Overlord will see the Warp Prism, so McKenyon might be prepared. Although, you know, McKenyon actually didn't have the Overlord highlighted at the very moment, so maybe he might have missed it. But more importantly, I mean, Galzi is doing everything in the open, and McKenyon does get a good sense of what's going on. At the same time, though, it looks like Galzi is going to warp in some Zealots at the high ground. And, you know, I can definitely approve of Warp Prism play, but kind of like what you said right now, I don't think Galzi's build is optimal right now, because look at how many resources he's floating.
Oh wow, yeah, being at 900 resources at this point in the game and also being supply blocked, that is just brutally painful. And I do think our Zerg noticed the Warp Prism, because he dropped these 2 Spine Crawlers almost immediately after he floated over the robotics facility, so he's going to be in great shape to deal with anything our Protoss is going to throw at him. And also looking at the Harvester count, he's about 20 ahead of the Protoss right now. He's about 30 ahead in supply. The Zerg just looking absolutely great right now.
Ooh, but the one thing is that Galzi has in his favor is that McKenyon doesn't have an Overseer at his third base, so that actually might do an insane amount of damage. Although it looks like he's just going to target down the hatchery immediately, and it looks like you know, the Dark Templars over here, they're going to do a lot of damage.
No. Yeah, those Dark Templars going for the hatchery, he actually pulls off. He would have gotten that hatchery in time because our Zerg player did another vomit instead of doing a transfuse on the hatchery. Instead, though, our Protoss tries to play it safe. He picks up the Dark Templars and tries to move out, but now that was our Protoss's last ace in the hole, and it has been discovered. I think our Zerg's going to be able to deal with this. There's a Spore Crawler at the natural. He can't quite get vision of everything, but the Dark Templars being drawn towards the Spore Crawlers, kind of bad.
Yeah, and oh, it looks like right now the Dark Templar are trying to go for the Spore Crawler snipe, and they might get it just in time, or no, it actually doesn't. And that was actually just by 1 hit. Where's that Warp Prism by our Protoss player? I'm not actually sure. Oh, it looks like it ran.
Yeah, it ran. It's heading back towards the third now, but yeah, those DTs, I think they killed 2 drones and they damaged a couple buildings. That was not a good attack for a Protoss player. He's falling farther and farther behind at this point.
Oh yeah, and right now it looks like, I mean, he's still staying on 2 bases when he's had the option. The idea of being able to do stuff like this is be able to keep Zerg at his base and be able to see if you can even expand. Galzi at the same time, though, I mean, he's not doing much damage. He's transitioning to Colossi, but I mean, I don't think he's in a good position at all here, Bonk.
No, I like the transition, but we saw once again he supply blocked himself for quite a long time. I think nerves are just getting to him at this point. Yeah. He also has a ton of Stalkers and has almost the resources to start Blink, but hasn't. I mean, he should have started Blink a long time ago with this high of a Stalker count.
Yeah.
Instead, he's just kind of sitting here.
I mean, yeah, and you got to keep in mind that Blink takes longer to research too. So the longer you delay, the longer the tech is going to be delayed, and your timing's not going to be as strong. Because I mean, Zerg's on 4 base at this point, and Protoss still on 2, and he's adding more and more gateways. And I mean, this is not going to be good. And also the fact that Galzi doesn't even have sentries to make his Blink Stalkers in the optimal position. I'm not exactly sure if this will work out for him.
Yeah, I mean, Galzi has rebuilt his Cybernetics core. I want to point out there was a slight Warp Prism harass that was attempted on the 4th base, but it was cleaned up easily. Oh, Galzi is killing his Cybernetics core to move out here. He has remade it, which is very smart, but his army is so small. He doesn't have the upgrades he needs. Just now starting Blink. I think as soon as this army gets out in the open, the Zerg is just going to be able to wave over it.
Yeah, and especially because Zerg is almost maxed, and Protoss is still just under 120 supply. That's an 80 supply difference, and I'm not that great at math, Bonk, but that's more than overwhelming.
Right, even with Protoss units being really cost efficient, that is just too much of a gap at this point. Especially our Protoss has no chance to take a third anymore. Roaches are not going to allow that to happen. Also, I remember our Protoss player made an observer at some point. I don't know where it got to, but these roaches have burrow, and I don't see an observer anywhere.
So yeah, that's actually going to be another factor against Galzi, and of course, he's just trying to see if he can be really defensive, but again, I mean, I don't know what he's trying to plan. Blink is still not even done, and it's 15 minutes into the game with such a crucial upgrade in PvZ. Looks like he's going to actually try to start Stargate tech to battle against these roaches. And, yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's going to still, again, be a little bit more defensive. Looks like he's moving out here, Bonk.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have an engagement here. These roaches do have burrow and burrow movement. This could be a really good concave, but I think our Zerg is just going to pull back and wait for these infestors. I think that's the right play. Again, with burrow, this is going to be so hard to deal with. We see great fungals on all the units, catching a Colossus and most of the Stalkers. Without Blink, there's really nothing our Protoss player can do here, although most of the roaches are going down. He could be utilizing burrow micro, but he's choosing not to at this point. He does lose one infestor. He cleans up all of the Gateway army, but the Gateway army is being reinforced. It was a pretty decent engagement for a Protoss player, but it's going to come down to the macro more than anything at this point. Our Zerg instantly remaxed, or our Protoss not even over 100 supply again yet.
Yeah, you know, McKinnon just remade 40 roaches out of thin air and reclaimed the supply lead significantly. And the one thing, though, was in Galzi's favor is that he did keep his most expensive units, like the Colossi alive and the Immortal. The Stalkers were the ones that really took the punishment there. Looks like Protoss is finally starting to move out, but nice snipe there on the probe, even saving the roach. Heads up play over there. McKinnon, though, he's going to try to see if he can force another engagement, but this concave is actually pretty good for Protoss at this moment.
Yeah, the Protoss can have a decent concave here, but with this many infestors and this many roaches, fungal growths are going down now. It's not as strong as it used to be, but it's still plenty strong enough. Everything dying except the Colossus, and the Colossus can no longer run away. They will be dead in a second, and we see damn GG come out.
So damn GG is called by Galzi, and it looks like, you know, McKinnon played super well, and he's just going to advance 2-0 in a pretty straight-out fashion.
Yeah, I mean, great solid play out of him. He played safe and he took those games. There's not much else to say. Galzi being a little outmatched there. I did check, he was only a diamond player, so that's an extremely steep hill for him to climb. I'm sure he'll take, you know, some good experiences away from this. He gets to play against a high-level player. Oh, absolutely. And that's always fun.
And you get to analyze your own replays while doing it, and you realize, you know, just how you can just stack up against yourself. How good are you against the pros? So
yeah, exactly. You only get better by playing people who are better than you. So any chance you get to do that is always great for a new and inspiring player. And Galzi showed some good ideas there. I think he really just needs to work on his overall execution.
Yeah.
And actually, getting invited to the next game, we're gonna get to cast EG in control this time? I'm so excited.
Ooh, that's actually really cool, yeah. So, you know, I haven't actually got the pleasure to cast in control, but he is one of the players I look up to in terms of just being able to manage the scene. And he does get a lot of hate, but, you know, I want to shower him with some love that he does put a lot into the community, and he does try his honest best. So I only wish the best for him. But, you know, he's going up against SYN Giga. And do you know anything about his opponent over here? Hey, trying to check the Skype. Hey, Bonk, are you there, buddy? Okay, so, you know, we're going to just talk a little bit about this. Looks like we're going to actually still be on Metalopolis yet again.
Yeah, is this another first-round game? That's a little surprising. Or do all the games start?
Yeah, you know, I'm not exactly sure. I feel like I'm going to have to do a quick bracket check and refresh the page.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and do that, and I can talk a bit about EG and Control. I'm sure you said a couple things there while I was getting a drink. He is, I mean, he's just such a community figure. A lot of people don't like him because some of his trolls can be a little harsh. He can be kind of mean to people, but he's just done so much for the esports community. The guy has a passion for this game, and it shows in everything he does. He was making a lot of money casting for the NASL, and he said, no, I want to be a pro gamer. I'm going to take the harder path. I can't cast this much and play as hard as I want to. So this is, you know, he made that sacrifice, and that shows dedication to being the best, and that is something that is really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, he does have a lot of things to do, and people underestimate how hard it is to constantly put content out while maintaining your own practice schedule. Just being able to put out hours and hours of things with, all the shows he does and all the interviews he does. And so, we're going to pretty much get ready to go here. Looks like we're starting, and we're going to get underway with another Protoss versus Zerg. And, it's PVZ tournament here for the Playhem $400 tournament here, Bonk.
Yeah, we get to see yet another matchup. Again, I almost hate to tell our viewers this because it may take some of the fun out of this, but our Zerg player is only a Platinum level player on the ladder, so he definitely has his work cut out for him this time. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens here. We shouldn't judge too harsh, and maybe he's even playing, Smurf account. Maybe he's an EU player borrowing his friend's account. You never quite know. But we do see EG in control spawning as the purple Protoss here. These are cross spawn positions. Again, the Zerg would usually prefer this, but I think EG in control is going to feel really happy when he sees this. He's going to know Roachling all in, which is the scariest thing to deal with as a Protoss on this map. It's a lot harder to pull off in cross positions.
Yeah, and especially because In Control loves doing that more defensive PVZ style. I mean, that's kind of what he was known for a while, just, being very unbreakable and then going out for such a strong push, very controlled, and it just dominates his Zerg opponents. And it looks like, we're having a little bit of issues with lag from Giga, and that's quite unfortunate because, I mean, Giga was saying how before his dream was to play against In Control, and now he might even lag out here.
Oh no, that would be so devastating. The poor guy, he's finally getting to live his dream. I'm not actually sure what the rules are. If he DCs within the first couple of minutes, he may still get a shot. But
yeah, although I think the rules of disconnects, though, are losses, just because that's
really?
how the system reads it. Because technically it reads your match history. Although I feel like with this early in the game, it's obviously negligible.
Right. So we'll have to see what happens here.
I'm going to ask admin as we do.
Yeah, that probably would be best. Other than just sitting here and guessing for a little while. So yeah, going back, In Control, great guy. One of my heroes. Got to shake his hand the first MLG I went to. Cool experience for me, as you know. I'm a Masters level Protoss. I'm fighting the good fight, trying to get there, and he's such a cool guy. And we do see, Giga does end up dropping, so we're gonna find out what happens here real quick for you guys. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and try to do some research, figure out if we are still in the first round, because I'm a little curious. If our admins did decide to start every game of Metalopolis, that is a great choice because it is such an even, balanced map. But at the same time, sometimes they like to change that up a little bit.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, it's by round too, so you can kind of tell which round we're in just based off the map itself.
Okay, so it is a different starting map for each round?
Yeah, it usually is.
Okay, so we still are in the first round. Okay. Good to know. I thought maybe they started every round on Metalopolis or for some reason this time, but...
Yeah, so if you're watching just now, we just had a disconnect, and unfortunately that's just how Battle.net 2.0 is. And, sometimes they say it's as good enough that we don't want LAN. But in those kinds of scenarios, we kind of wish we did have otherwise. But it looks like Giga is back online here, Bonk, and, we're going to try to see if we can do this again. Yeah,
he's going to get another shot at this. He is very sorry. I'm sure we know it's not your fault, my friend. You're going to get your next shot to play against your hero, EG in Control. He's got to be excited. Maybe his internet just got so excited that it just shut off. It's like, I can't handle this. This is EG in Control.
Yeah, EG in Control. Again, a storied Protoss all across North American server. And, he's been trying to pick up his play, and we can hopefully see him come out really strong for some of the MLGs. Looks like he is going to start it up. And, they changed spawn positions, which might actually change up a little bit of how the game plays out.
Yeah, we are in close air positions now. So the game could go a little bit differently. It's really going to be interesting to see. And as you said, he's really in control, really trying to improve his play. These last few weeks have been the first time since they opened the EG house that there hasn't been a major tournament for everyone to fly to. So all EG has been doing these past couple weeks is just practice. And this is going to be one of the first big tournaments we're going to be able to see if those practice times really paid off.
Yeah, and of course, again, In Control is playing a Platinum player, you said, right? But
right,
according to the brackets... Platinum. Oh, yeah, wait, what did you say?
He was Platinum, but it said his most played race was Protoss, and seeing as how he's playing Zerg here, we might you know, he might be playing. It might be an EU Smurf on an NA account. That happens
It could
all
be.
the time, right?
Yeah, it could be the fact that he's plat and he hasn't actually been